In the world of crime, sometimes intelligence collides with crime, turning every move into a masterstroke and every getaway into legend. Here is a list of this shadowy world of criminal geniuses, whose flawlessly executed plans keep them always one step ahead, leaving no trace and never getting caught. Number 1. Man pocketing diamond. Speaking of these masterminds, one guy had the smoothest method to swipe $28,000 worth of diamonds without even breaking a sweat. He strolled into a jewelry store and spent about 2 hours casually browsing around before making his move. After sizing up the store's weak security, he approached the salesperson and asked to see the pricey diamond. He examined it, then handed it back and stepped outside for a smoke. Little did the shop worker know, he had just pulled off a flawless heist. By the time they realized the diamond in their hand was fake cubic zirconia and not the luxury jewel, the man had vanished into thin air, leaving no trace behind. Number 2. No wall can stop me. Nothing seems to stop a determined robber, especially when a safe full of cash is involved. This robbery is almost comical in how it unfolds. The robbers cut through the wall to access the security, with one of them dressed in a security costume playing the role of guide. He directs his partners on where to cut and how to retrieve the money from the safe. It's like a high-stakes heist with a touch of slapstick comedy. Number 3. Need the cash, not the machine. What started as a peaceful ATM turned into a wreck in seconds, thanks to a pair of robbers and their pickup truck. Using metallic chains, they smashed the machine to bits. These crooks were lightning fast, wasting no time as they yanked the ATM open and grabbed the cash. The heist was slickly executed, and the robbers made a clean getaway, leaving the cops eating their dust. Number 4. Just hide. You don't always need to run from the cops to stay out of trouble. Sometimes a clever hiding spot does the trick. Take this guy, for instance, who used his wits to escape a whole SWAT team. He stood perfectly still in the corner of a room, pretending to be just another hanger. When the SWAT team stormed into the shed room, they never imagined their suspect could be hiding right under their noses. After a thorough search, they left empty-handed, while the clever guy simply walked out and vanished without a trace. Number 5. The Ripoff Trio. A trio of thieves managed to pull off a major heist at a diamond jewelry store by distracting the owner and making a huge ripoff. The trio entered the store, pretending to be Italian tourists. They flashed a lot of money, convincing the shop owner that they were serious buyers. When the owner showed them rings worth $40,000, the group distracted him by asking for a separate box for the ring and wrapping paper. While the women were wrapping the rings, the girl in the blue shirt cleverly swiped a ring and hid it under her wallet, then wrapped the empty box. After giving the shop owner $1,000, the trio left to get more cash from an ATM. The owner, believing their story, was shocked when they never returned, realizing he had been ripped off for $39,000. Number 6. Impatient dudes. Talking about a forklift, this pair of dudes got this robbery idea from a comedy movie because this can only happen in a cartoon series. The thieves, however, are impatient. They don't want to waste their time trying to break the ATM open or try figuring out what to do. They simply steal a construction digger and dig out the ATM from within the wall. The whole ATM wall is destroyed, but the thieves manage to pull it and load it on the roof of their car. Who could have imagined that these thieves would go to such an extent to steal an ATM? Number 7. Smash and grab runners. Not every robber finds it easy to conduct a perfectly planned heist without getting caught or arrested, but these robbers had a well-thought-out and efficient plan. They carried out a quick smash and grab robbery. The shop, located in a peaceful environment, was suddenly hit by a group of robbers without masks who used hammers to smash the glass displays. The shop workers and owners didn't even have a chance to defend themselves. By the time the police were informed, The thieves had long gone. Even though the robbers' faces were caught on camera, the police were unable to capture them or find any leads. Number 8. No bars can stop a heist. Not even in the shop owner's wildest dreams would have imagined this robbery on his garden supplies store. The robbers broke through the glass door and even brought a cutting machine to cut open the metallic bar's door encasing the shop. The man manages to break the door and enters the shop. Like crazy men, they loot the whole store, stealing all garden supplies, load them in their van, and leave. Wonders if they're going to start a new farming business to need all that supplies. Number 9. Robbers with ramps. The robbers were exceptionally prepared. They easily evaded the car spikes the police had set up to stop them. The suspects produced a pair of ramps and smoothly crossed over the spikes, making their getaway and leaving everyone astonished by the unexpected outcome. Number 10. Forklift's unique use. This team of robbers knew exactly what risks they were taking when they used a forklift in their robbery heist. This ingenious plan was devised by these robbers to use a forklift machine and rip off the whole ATM from its place and take it with them. They succeed in their plan on their first attempt and completely pull the ATM off the ground. Afterward, the other suspect driving in a truck gets the ATM loaded in it and drives off with the ATM dangling behind them. Number 11. Grab any opportunity coming your way. This suspect used some serious intelligence to outwit the police. When his car stopped in front of a moving train, he seized the moment. With the cops unable to stop the train, he dashed toward it, timed his jump perfectly, and hopped on. The train carried him away, making his escape smooth and unstoppable. Number 12. Celebrating robbers. It took this crew of thieves just minutes and a killer cutting tool to bust open the jewelry shop's safe and loot the whole place. They struggled at first, grinding away at the thick metal of the safe, but once they got it open, they threw a little victory bash. They didn't rush, just packed up the jewels and cash at a leisurely pace while savoring the heist. When they were done, they left the shop in the hands of the cops, who will be chasing their tails for years trying to catch these pro bandits. Number 13. All gone in 30 seconds. 30 seconds. That's all a professional group of robbers need to steal a whole ATM. The still-wanted robbers actively used all their 30 seconds worth of time and ripped off the ATM from the ground without missing a beat. The group coordinated so well that it can put sports teams to shame. They pulled out the ATM, took all the cash from it, and left the poor machine there to sulk after it was robbed. Number 14. The impressive thief. If you ever find yourself in a situation like this, don't react the same way this woman did. This thief decided to use a new method to steal a pricey jewel from a store by pretending to be a rich customer looking to buy a piece of jewelry. They do say, dress to impress, and this thief pulled off that magic trick. He impressed the woman and convinced her to hand over the expensive $27,000 diamond. As soon as he had the diamond, he dashed out of the shop and disappeared while the woman just stood there shocked, throwing a tantrum instead of chasing after the suspect or informing the police. Number 15. Smash the jewelry cases. This group of burglars was a bit too laid back while robbing a jewelry store. They casually lifted the security gate and smashed the glass door, slipping inside without making a fuss. Instead of wreaking havoc, they just strolled over to the jewelry displays and calmly filled their bags, completely ignoring the security cameras. They stuffed their bags to the brim and then walked out as if they were just leaving a picnic. Number 16. Teamwork pays off. Stealing $100,000 without getting caught is no job for an ordinary robber, but if you have a brain like these culprits, you can pull off a smooth heist like they did. The culprits used their smarts and robbed the jewelry store when the mall was empty and there was no one inside the store. Dividing tasks among themselves, all three worked in sync. One of the suspects broke the glass covers, while the other two quickly packed the jewelry and watches into their bags. They made off with a total of $100,000 and exited the mall through the same entrance they had come in from. Number 17. The unstoppable driver. The driving skills of this man are truly admirable as he twists and turns his car through busy traffic while being chased by police cars. The police try to stop the suspect's car by blocking his path or attempting to perform a pit maneuver, but the suspect quickly avoids these tactics. With his impressive driving skills, he manages to evade the police and drive off on his own. Number 18. Distracting thieves. Imagine getting distracted for just a split second and a group of thieves wash their hands on your prized jewelry. A group of such thieves made a robbery at one of the busiest malls by pulling up a simple distraction technique. These robbers made a team of 3, where 2 of the partners distracted the shop employee, while the third slipped into the manager's office and stole pricey jewelry and keys to the jewelry display outside. Number 19. Same guy, different stores. It was either the skill of this guy or the incompetence of the police officers that allowed this suspect to evade capture after several robbery attempts at multiple stores. His outfit was consistently the same for every robbery, except for the mask, which he occasionally changed. The suspect would show up at convenience stores, use his gun to intimidate the cashiers, and force them to hand over all the money in their registers. Despite his face and appearance being caught on camera at several convenience stores, the police officers failed to catch him in the area. Number 20. Driver vanishing in the air. Rash driving is bad enough, but when the driver knows how to dodge the cops, that's next level annoying. In this video, we've got a suspect tearing up the traffic, making illegal turns, speeding like a maniac, and blowing through red lights. The whole thing was caught by a drone camera that tracked the car's every move. The camera was doing its job, but the driver was slicker than a greased weasel. He zipped into a blind spot, vanished into thin air, and ended up losing the camera. Just like that, the suspect made a clean getaway. Number 21. Smart guys. This group of friends made a foolproof plan involving smashing and grabbing and a perfect party afterward, but they missed just one teeny tiny thing. The group entered a jewelry store in an attempt to rob the store and even were doing a great job doing so, but one of the robbers noticed something. The camera was rolling just above their heads, and he knew one of these guys was not wearing a camera, so he let the other guys know, and they had to stop their heist midway to escape getting caught by the police. Number 22. One touch and the chain is gone. Another trio of swindlers strikes at Avenue Mall, where they make a fool out of the shop workers with their crafty trick and sticky hands. The trio went inside a luxury watch store and were looking at some gold chains when the suspects claimed they couldn't see the chains well, so the shop workers let them have a closer look, but this closer look cost them a loss of $15,000. The professional swindler did a smooth trick and easily tore off the gold chain from the stand and casually slipped it inside his pocket, then walked out. Number 23. Too much trust is lethal. Having a little too much trust in your customers can lead you to grit your teeth later, as they can turn out fraud anytime. This customer managed to rip off a heavy gold necklace from a jewelry store after they let him try it for himself to see if it suited him. The shop workers were in the delusion that this guy would end up paying them a hefty amount for the necklace, but instead of paying, this man dashed out from the front door where his partner was standing, waiting for him to come out, and they ran together once out of the store. Number 24. Employees' revenge. A lesson learned for the shop owner is to never mess with his employees if they own a jewelry store. A jewelry store owner in the Bronx suffered the backlash from his employee, who let 3 robbers inside the store and let them peacefully finish their mission while he kept a watch for the cops. The robbers easily stole $2.15 million worth of jewelry from the store and even ran away on foot with the help of the store employee. Getting an accomplice from the inside of the store was the last thing the store owner must have expected in his life, But life is unexpected. Number 25. Never let them know your next move. If you never let them know your next move was a person, it would be this guy. So this dude walks inside a store and asks the owner to show him a gold chain for his supposedly girlfriend, but with the dude's looks, it's hard to believe that excuse. When the shop owner goes in the back to get the chains, this guy turns his attitude 180 degrees and takes out his gun to go after the store owner. Not only did this guy steal dozens of gold chains, but also took $1,000 in cash from the store, even after his face is fully clear on the security camera, because apparently he isn't only good at stealing, but also hiding. Number 26. Driver going pro mode. Sometimes thieves and robbers know when it's time to cut their losses. During a high-speed chase through San Fernando Valley, a reckless SUV driver was dodging the cops with some seriously close calls. This guy had his escape plan down to a science. The police kept losing him because he was a master at using the dark to his advantage. They even ended up arresting the wrong person by mistake, thinking they'd caught the driver. When the chase kicked off again, the driver showed up briefly, but then hit the brakes on a bridge, ditching his SUV to flee on foot. He took a straight route before slipping into a side alley and vanishing underground. Number 27. Ambush Gang. It only takes one signal for pro thieves to spring into action and hit the place before the cops even know what's happening. Store owners had a bad vibe when they saw a bunch of shady folks hanging around the entrance while one of them played the part of a regular customer. Before they knew it, they were ambushed. The robbers struck so fast that the panic button was never touched. They cleaned out the store, swiping high-value jewelry and flashing their faces on the security cameras. Yet despite their faces being on tape, there's zero info about these crooks. Number 28. Woman's illusionary technique. This woman sure knows how to use her hands well. The security footage inside a jewelry store captured the moment when a woman entered a jewelry store posing as a customer and asked the shop worker to show her some pieces. She used such an illusion technique that the man is totally unaware of the theft that took place right in front of his eyes. She uses this shop worker's distraction not once but twice and bags down jewelry pieces in front of her. After her job is done there, she acts as if she has been called home and quickly leaves the shop. After she is gone, hours pass by, and that is when the shop worker realizes that the jewelry pieces are missing. Number 32. Massive dudes joining the team. This burglary incident is both tragic and ingenious. A massive gang of robbers collectively agreed to rob the same store at the same time. The robbers smashed the entrance glass and barged inside the store. In a gust of wind, the entire store was wiped clean of valuables by these robbers. It's tragic, but the robbers were quite clever to use such a large group. They came, did the deed, and got away in seconds. Number 33. Groups' quick work done. Speaking of robbers casually hitting their mark, this group struck gold one afternoon when they targeted a jewelry store. They burst in right after the last customer left, making a dramatic entrance with guns drawn. The store owner, caught by surprise, quickly rushed to the back room for safety. The robbers wasted no time, smashing the glass display cases and grabbing the jewelry in record time. They were out the door in less than 2 minutes, even before the owner's call to the cops could connect. Number 34. The smooth moves lady. This elderly woman gave the store owner and workers a tough time figuring out where their jewelry set had disappeared. Even the police officers struggled to understand how this woman managed to swindle the large jewelry box inside a busy shop right in front of the workers. Watch her closely as she quietly takes the jewelry box and places it on her lap. From there, the box disappears into her custody. This cunning thief was so smooth that she even asked the shop workers to help her try on the jewelry to reduce their suspicions. Number 36. Ninja robbers. This robber made a dramatic entry into a store to pull off his heist. The robber was caught entering most unexpectedly. This wannabe ninja gained notoriety for targeting the same store 3 times in a row without getting caught. In his last attempt, he made a legendary entrance through the ceiling, but his landing wasn't as smooth as he expected. Despite this, he managed to break into the store, causing significant damage. And guess what he stole? A pack of cigarettes and cash from the register. After the robbery, the suspect casually left the building with the goods, while the police still struggled to identify him. Number 37. Unique trip to convenience store. Usually, we go to a convenience store to buy something for ourselves, but these 2 dudes definitely didn't step inside the store for just shopping, judging how ridiculously they were wearing their hoodies. As expected, they walked up to the ATM inside the store and ripped it open using their hammer and other tools, which was a surprise because these tools usually make a lot of noise, but these guys managed to use them without any guard coming to check on them. They took out the money from inside it and dashed out, feeling proud of their successful heist. I hope you guys enjoyed these marvelous thieves being good at their crafts. Which one was your favorite? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, and if you are new to the channel, drop a like, subscribe, and press the bell icon to stay updated. We will catch you in the next one. Goodbye.